Hi guys and welcome back. Today I am working on a little digital painting. I wanted to do something that I could just explore and have fun with some new techniques and get lost in the creation of the piece. The last while, my digital pieces have all been tarot cards, so they all have to fit within the look of all the others. So this was just a very freeing time to be able to work on this piece. And part of what made this really a very fun exploratory experience is that I'm using a new digital painting software, which I was really excited about. It's been a long time since I've dove into something new like this. This is actually Clip Studio Paint. I've heard incredible things about this program, so I couldn't wait to get started on this and to play around with what was available, what was here. And I do want to give a huge thank you to Clip Studio Paint. They are sponsoring this video, so they gave me the chance to try something new, to play with new tools and techniques, and I loved it. I love the experience of using this program and working on this painting. So let's jump right in and talk about the piece and the process. One of the things I really like about Clip Studio Paint is that all of the tools, the menus are very clean and clutter-free. There's a few options for each of those available, but it's not overwhelming. There's not like 50 brushes there. There's a couple for each of them, and you can get new ones if you have a need. And I really like the simplicity of that, of being able to make sure that it's tailor fit to what I'm looking for, and it's not cluttery, which really does distract from the process for me. So I loved that. I loved the brush and the pencil and the airbrush tools. They were all very streamlined and they had some really interesting options, but it was also really easy to add new brushes, new tools to use. So when I'm working on a digital piece, one of the big benefits is you can make the background any color. I tend to go with a lighter than medium gray. This works really well for when I'm not exactly sure which direction I'm going with a sketch yet, and I'm just exploring. If I know right away in my head which color kind of palette that I want to use, if it's going to be warm or cool, I can start with a background that's a little bit more of a warm gray or a cool gray, but I like to keep it neutral when I don't know, or pick one when I do. That way it keeps the mood and the atmosphere going in the correct direction. But I start that way so that it's not just sketching on stark white. That can be really hard to gauge how it's going to look. It can be kind of hard on the eyes even. And I love this benefit of working digitally, is that you can make sure that it just fits together perfectly. The background color doesn't have to be the final background color. It can just be something that is a useful tool for getting that sketch down. When I'm sketching digitally like this, or I guess really any kind of sketching, I like to just play with the shapes and the lines and the flow of what I'm working on, and I build up from there. So I'll start to look for areas that I really like the way that it looks, and that way I can decide to build the piece on some of those key elements and cut away others that are more distracting or aren't really connecting with that. So for this piece, as I was sketching her hair, I really liked the flow of how it was flowing over what I imagined would eventually be her shoulder, and how it kind of broke away and then reconnected. That very specific shape, I really enjoyed what it did, how it had that flow. So I started cutting out areas in the piece that just didn't really work with that shape, and I started replicating that in other areas of her hair. That way it just all melded together. And I was looking for how can I expand this sketch from just being a floating head. And I liked the downward drape of her hair, and it reminded me of like a hood, and that was where it connected into giving her just a winter coat with a hood off the back. And that is by far one of my favorite ways to sketch, is when I can just get into the zone and let shapes lead into other shapes, into new ideas, and looking for connections and ways to build up on them. And they don't even have to be that significant or monumental. They can just be the flow, the shape looks similar to something else, and I can connect to that. I really love that moment where you can get into the zone and it just flows. I also like to start building up an idea of where the values are going to be in a piece. Sometimes I'll do it a little bit more aggressively than others. In this sketch, it was a little bit more on the on the light, minimal side as far as what was incorporated into the sketch, but I started blocking out a little bit more of a medium dark gray for the background, figuring out how I wanted the character to stand out from the background and looking for shadow areas within the character and just little pockets of where maybe the lightest lights would be in the darkest darks, and that helps me to build the piece a little bit more and more as I'm planning it out in my head and working on the sketch. I also knew that once I gave her a coat that I wanted the atmosphere to feel a little bit cooler and moody and maybe like it's wintertime wherever she's at. So that helped to steer the direction of the colors, that they were going to be a little bit warmer, a little cooler, and the background is going to be a little bit darker, so it feels a little bit like kind of a winter night. And then eventually I got to the point where I could ink it, and I cannot express how much I enjoyed inking this piece. I absolutely loved the feel of it. I think a large part of it was Clip Studio Paint, but also the brush that I was using. I downloaded a brush that's called DAE_ink. It was sublime. I loved it. I got that off of the Clip Studio Paint marketplace, and it was free, but it just flowed so perfectly. It tapered off to a sharp point when I wanted it to, which is something that my typical digital inking brush does not do anymore. It has a little, it broke. Anyways, it just felt so natural, and I just got right into the flow of things, and that was probably the most enjoyment I've gotten from a digital piece in a long time, was inking this piece. It just felt so right. It was a good experience. I highly, highly recommend this brush specifically, but also trying it out with Clip Studio Paint. It was eye-opening how much I've been fighting and struggling with the inking process before this, which it wasn't that bad, but it just made this experience feel so smooth. And a little tip with inking digitally, I love to create more and more layers when I need them. Don't be afraid to create more and just merge down so that it keeps it simple. But what I do is when I have areas like the hair, if I have a lot of straight lines that intersect directly to another line that goes in a different direction, I'll just create 2 different layers. That way I can make sure that the lines going in opposite directions are completely smooth, and then I can go back in and erase any of the tails that overlap that line. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, I create more layers, and then make sure that everything is tidy and neat, and then I merge them together. I usually have maybe like 2 or 3 main layers while I'm inking, and then I'll create a few more and then merge them down. And then eventually, depending on the purpose and how I'm going to finish off the piece, I can either merge everything down to 1 ink layer, or if I want like a special detail to be a distinctly different color from the rest of the line art, and I want to save myself some effort, I'll have that on a different layer. And I ended up using this brush for a lot of different elements in this piece. It was really handy, actually. I used it for flatting the colors, so establishing those main large color shapes within the piece. I also used it to add some of this like hatching texture that I eventually put on her coat. I really enjoyed that. I've been looking for ways to add more manual texture to the pieces that I'm working on. So things that I can specifically draw in that add more interest when you're looking at a piece, that makes it feel a little bit more realistic, or in this case, I think that it just gives it a little bit more visual noise, something of interest to an area that was fairly empty and open. I also ended up adding a lot of texture, very, very subtle texture, but texture with the airbrush tool. So I went in and I added like little speckles in her hair and her face and the background, basically everywhere, so that it was just a slightly different value or color. And that just makes the digital piece feel a little less plastic, I guess. It feels a little bit more warm and natural. I love adding texture to digital pieces. It really does just make them come alive and feel like there's a little bit more to it. And as I'm nearing the end of the piece, I will usually look back, at least I try to. I look back at the sketch that I started with so I can look for anything that's missing, specifically things that I've like actually forgot to draw in, but also if there's something that got misinterpreted as I was drawing it, or a bad translation from sketch to inking. Like if the expression is just not quite what it was in the sketch and I liked it in the sketch, then I can make sure that I bring that back in. There is often a lot of expression and flow and shape that happens in a sketch that doesn't follow over into the final because we're being so much more restrictive and controlled with the way that we're approaching it, whereas the sketch can be a lot more free-flowing and loose. So I find it really helpful to revisit the sketch to make sure that initial spark, the things that I was really interested in bringing over, remains in the piece. Another thing that I thought was cool about Clip Studio Paint is that it actually records a time lapse of the artwork for you. There's just a little checkbox that you can select so that it records every step that you take for a piece. I love this for a lot of reasons. It's really nice if you want to post your artwork and show that, but it also is really helpful to be able to watch back over and see if there was anything that you may have changed that actually looked better earlier. I am definitely one who makes this mistake often. I will change things and it doesn't actually make it better, it just makes it different. And being able to look back over as I'm watching or as I'm creating it, I can see, oh, I changed the color of the background or I changed the color of her hair and I actually really liked how it looked before. I can go back to that. But when I change things, I don't always remember. I don't remember what it looked like. So this just gives me a record of what I have done. And I love that. I love being able to use that as a tool to make sure that the piece is its best version possible. But also it's really fun just to look and watch as the piece comes to life. I loved this experience. I loved playing with Clip Studio Paint, trying it out, doing some new stuff with it. It refreshed me a lot in the way that I've been thinking about digital work, and it was a good experience. It was fun. So that's about it for today, but thank you guys so much for watching. I will have a link down in the description that'll take you over to Clip Studio Paint. They do have a free trial as well, so if you wanted to just play around with it and see how you like it, there is that link down in the description. But I also have a print of this piece available at my shop, so if you'd like to check that out, that's also listed down below. And that's it for today. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.